Okay, we've had some requests for the oatmeal recipe. First, you soak those almonds about a day, about 24 hours. Then you put them in the blender with some vanilla and some dates. I use 4 dates if it's just a single serving, 8 dates if it's 2 servings. And then you blend for a couple of minutes. Then you go ahead and put the oatmeal in a large bowl, and then you put the almond milk in there that you just made. And then those are all the spices that you use, and we'll put in the description the list of the spices. And you spice it to your taste, and you'll kind of experiment with how much you want on these, but you'll see how much I put in. And then there you get ready to soak for the next day. So while I'm doing the current batch, I put in the almonds to soak for the next day so I don't forget. And then when you cook it, you cook it for a period of time, and then you stir it. Just don't let it boil over, and you'll learn how powerful your microwave oven is as far as what would cause it to boil over, so you don't go too long for each of these stages. But I do it until it's like boiling but not boiling over, and then I stop it, and then I stir it, and then repeat the process for about 8 minutes or so of cooking before I put the banana in. Then I add, and the bananas should be as ripe as possible. It's going to taste better if they're ripe. And I add the banana, and then I cook it for about another 2 minutes, and then I stir it, and then I cook it for another 3 minutes after that. And then sometimes I'll stir it again and do 1 more minute just for good measure until the bananas are completely cooked into the mix. So you'll see the end result here. It's not terribly difficult to make this, and I think the reasons it tastes so good are the ripe bananas, the almonds that are soaked overnight, and making your own almond milk makes a big difference. The store-bought stuff is just not as good, and you save money as well making your own almond milk. And I do buy the almonds at Costco, so they're a really good bargain. Hey Google, start timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
And so after the final cooking, I let it all cool down, and how long you let it cool down depends on how hot you want it when you eat it. So for me, for a double batch like this, 15 minutes is a good cool down period. So I set the timer for 15 minutes. And then once it's cooled down and ready to eat, that's when I put the toppings on. So at the last minute, you put these on, and you can use whatever you want. You can use just regular sugar, you can use brown sugar, you can use maple syrup, which is what we have here, a little bit of butter, and you don't need any of those things. It'll work without any of those things. It'll still taste good. Now, if you really want your oatmeal to taste like apple pie, use apples instead of bananas. Now, if you use apples, you cut them up to small pieces, you peel them, and you cut them up to small pieces, and you put them in the beginning, so they stay in for the entire cook period because they take longer to cook. And you will love it with apples as well.